Hello everyone, uh, welcome to another video. Today I want to show you a cool song I've been working on, and when I say that, I mean this is something I started today. I started about maybe 20 minutes ago. I've gotten a lot of progress done on it, and I think it will be my next song, but I've said that for like 4 other songs. I am someone who has issues with picking a project and sticking with it sometimes. And I know a lot of people do, but in any case, this project is an experiment in my own world on textures and layering, and I just want to show you some tricks and tips that I've done, and maybe it'll inspire you to make something similar or, textured or whatever. So let's head over to Ableton here, and I have everything color coded in a nice color. Move that. So at the heart of this is a VST plugin, which, is cool, called Amigo, which is a sampler, and you could probably do this with simpler, but there's just some settings that I kind of like in it, and that's the heart of the beat. So let me go here. This guy first is a groove I made with it was a sample. It was like a clip sample, whatever. And I dragged it in here, and then it deleted the extra stuff I didn't care about because I was just testing. But I was like, this actually sounds kind of cool. So really, disregard this vital. I'll hide it. But these are the drums. So if you start here, everything, by the way, is grain delayed. So without it, which is cool, but grain delay just adds this dark, nice texture to it. So we have this, then we have this guy, which I'm not going to do this part yet, just so I can show you, because that's the transitions. So this is the second groove, and then this is the third. And if we go in here, I'm basically using the sample and I'm chopping it up. So if I add these three together, sounds pretty cool. So what I'm doing here effectively is I'm layering 3 different elements on top of each other to make this complex sounding groove. And this is a technique that I've not done that much, but I know it's a really good thing, and it's a very powerful technique to making your mixes sound more interesting. Because a lot of times I tend to stick to, here's this drum pattern I made using a drum, kit over here. It sounds cool, then I'm done. But if you want more texture, then you gotta layer things. Like for instance, if I go down here and create a new audio track, as an example, I'm gonna solo this audio track and duplicate, and then solo this guy. And what we're going to do here is we're going to find a drum sound, or a hi-hat, for example. Now we have this hi-hat. Sounds kind of cool. But now let's add in a second one. Or maybe even this. Then solo. And solo. But together, it just has a little bit more texture. And of course, I'm not saying that you need to do, 50 tracks for one texture. But if you do that, you can make some crazy cool pieces. So if you want to go that direction, you totally can. But the idea is that you should layer things to add more texture to your mixes. And of course, there's times which I might have reached here where I have too much going on. And at that point, you want to get rid of some of the layers. But it's nice having multiple layers, multiple flavors, textures, and, emotions and whatever. So let me go to the beginning of my song and just break it down some more, the non-groove parts. So the first things first is this sound, which I have auto-filtered a little bit, so it sounds like this. Plus a little bit more because of RC20 on the master track, and I put magnetic and noise on there just to add a little bit more texture. Yeah. So there's this sound, and then this one's a sample also, but I added grain delay. The idea is that the grain delay makes it different enough from the normal sample that I can justify using this from this random pack that I have. So together. I'm still working on the intro, by the way, but this is what I have. And then this guy, this is a drum fill intro, transition. So here we go. And then this is the vocals. So another tip here is sometimes, originally I had this, and I'll play this so you hear it. Sounds good, but, with the shimmer and then fracture, which this guy is free, and that's amazing. It's glitchy and whatever. It sounds cool, but the reverb from the shimmer kind of blends with the next sound, and I don't like that. So instead I took it away, and then you can hear the tail end. Slow fade off. And then here's just this bell sound. Again, some effects. So delay, and then shimmer. And then here I just have this, because that's kind of what worked. So this is kind of what I have so far. It's around about a minute-ish long, and then, of course, right around here is where the boredom sets in. And when I say boredom, I just mean there's this set of elements happening, and I just copied it a bunch of times just so I could see it in a larger scale, and yet there's no change, so it's not interesting. But I do really, really like this whole intro part. And by the way, this is called Jungle Groove right now, but it feels like you're in a jungle, and there's people banging on bongos or congos or whatever. I always mix them up. But the point of this video is a couple of things. A, it's me uploading something because I gotta get content out there, and of course I could do, one thing a week and call it a day, but that's not gonna get me as many views, and I don't want to spend time editing videos, so this is kind of an intermediary thing. But it's also just like a real-world example of a song that's work in progress, using texture and layering techniques, which, when I say texture and layering techniques, there's many techniques for texture, but then there's only one technique for layering, really. I mean, of course, technically, you can go into the details of like, two vocals, you just like layer it, and then you change pitch, and yada, yada, yada. But I'm just talking about, like, at the base level, adding layers of sounds on top of each other makes the mix more interesting. And there are times when it's best to do something like this. Singular sound. But then there's also times where it's best to do this. So the point is that just like you got to figure out what works, but practice is your best friend in this situation. Try making songs and putting a bunch of sounds on there that are unconventional, so you get something like this. Like, for instance, just as an ask, this is something you can leave a comment about. What genre of music would you call this? Because I am inclined to say experimental, or, I don't know. I think experimental, but just write a comment if you know, because that'll be helpful. And also, just before I end this video off, I'll give you your challenge, which I kind of already said it. Create a song, use texture and layering techniques. Or, better yet, to be more specific, use layering techniques that create texture. So it could be something like simple, where you just put white noise over top of everything, like I do with the master track here. Because now I have texture, and then I don't. Texture, don't. See, I added a little bit of texture, because you don't need to do some big crazy thing for texture. Just like ear candy is really another way to put it. Creating like little sounds that maybe they ping pong between the ears, or they do this like weird thing, or whatever. Anyways, create some texture using layering techniques, and then post a video about it, and tag me. And of course, if you want to do breakdown. But it can be just a singular part of a song. It can be a full song. It could be whatever. The goal is that it's a low pressure thing that is just a little, practice for you to making music. I'm not a professional in any way, but sometimes I create things like this that sound really cool. But yeah, I don't know. So, anyways, I plan to tomorrow be live. I'm going to lock in a time of 12 o'clock. I'm going to say 12 o'clock is when I'll be live. I may do one, but I'm going to say 12 o'clock. Expect 12 o'clock. And if I forget, my bad. Sorry to let you down. My 24 fans, I think that's what I'm at right now. Which most of them are friends, but yeah, whatever. But 12 o'clock I'll be live. I'll do my typical stream of working on stuff. And if there's a commenter, if there's someone in the comments of the live, I mean the live chat, whatever, then that would be amazing, because you can tell me what song to work on, or what project, better put. The one thing I will say about that is there's definitely going to be a want to work on Poopy, because I suck at naming things. Now there's one called Poopy. I would prefer not, because I worked on that. But if you say it, I'll work on it, Anyways, that's all I really have for now. This is a shorter video than the last one, but not as short as I would have liked. But the idea is I ramble, I yap a little. That's fine, though. In the future, I'm going to try and dial my content better, but I don't really know how to do that yet. It's just something like that takes practice. I've uploaded, I think, like almost 100 videos, which is a lot, and I'm really happy about that. But I am not a pro in any way. So, anyways, I love you guys. I will see you guys tomorrow at 12. That's the plan. I will be live and ready. And then it'll only last like around about an hour, so that I can do some work before my class that I have at 2. But yeah, love you guys. I'll see you. Bye.